You're listening to littlepodcast.com.
You're in enemy territory? Is that what's happening?
100%.
The boy with turrets told the funniest jokes. It's your life. You don't want your teeth knocked out. You and Pink Sparkles, DDR, face off.
Yeah.
I got my first offer.
Nice.
It was the offer at
nice.
Savers.
Welcome to Born in the 80s, episode 323. I'm your host, John Dangereau, joined by my co-hosts,
Matt Haig.
And TJ, fuck the Packers, May.
Yeah, thank you.
John's in a state tonight. He's
All right,
having a real
TJ,
tough
you're
day.
from Wisconsin originally, from Packer country.
I don't give a
so-
shit about football.
I know. So I'm in a state because literally, as we started this podcast, Aaron Rodgers got hurt in a play and was carted off. And I just want to say this about football. I'm going to go on my football rant real quick.
Okay.
So this whole
I'll
year...
finish with a little bit. But
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, what were you going to say? Sorry.
Oh, I got a tiny thing. I actually left caring about football because I used to.
Oh, okay.
I stopped caring after Packers won Super Bowl 29 back in 1997 against the Patriots.
Yeah. It was a great day. I was of the perfect age for that too, because I was 11, so it was like perfect, and I was like old enough to understand and be a fan and know players and stats.
Hold up. Was that Super Bowl 29 or 31? Was it 29 years without a Super Bowl?
I don't know, but
I don't
regardless
know.
of the
Did they win
situation,
two in a-
it was
two in a row
96
back then. Sometime
It was 96. And then it was
January
like
97.
January
Yeah.
97. So I had turned 11 at that point. So I was just a perfect age to be like in starting to get into sports. So football's had a lot of controversy in the last couple of years around it,
Has it?
So yeah. So there's concussions were a big deal, and they still are, but that's still a problem that's not being completely addressed perfectly by the NFL, including elderly players not having money to care for themselves after their injuries and whatnot. It's like just a whole bad situation. So that's bad. They're doing something at least, but that's bad. There's a lot of NFL players that are like doing a lot of domestic violence stuff that the league's kind of like, hey, if you're good though, we're gonna just be like,
Hey, but you're real good at throwing that ball.
yeah,
so,
so we're not gonna. Hey, Jameis Winston, you may have sexually assaulted a lady in her Uber, but we'll just give you a little suspension. And this other guy said you didn't do it. Your friend and teammate said you didn't do it. So
just here,
that's
give me
fine.
that wrist. I'm just gonna slap it real lightly.
But if you're Tom Brady and you play with a football that's slightly too deflated, we're gonna give you the same suspension as Ray Rice, who punched a lady and knocked her out. That makes sense. It's just. The NFL's bad with that, all right? And then 2016 happened, and Colin Kaepernick.
What was going on
we were
with the
talking
NFL
about.
in 2016?
Well, some players decided to start kneeling, and actually, what
I
happened
haven't
was
heard anything about that.
what happened was Colin Kaepernick was sitting for the national anthem for an entire season, and nobody noticed. And then finally, people started noticing, and everyone flipped the fuck out about it for some reason. Even though the anthem in the NFL is like a thing that's happened in the last 10 or 15 years.
I think it was 2009 or something like that.
Yeah, because the government decided to start paying teams, or the teams are paying the government a large amount of money to have a military little flag ceremony before
Don't
every
they do,
game.
Like a jet flyover and stuff too?
No, they're paying the NFL tons of money. So we are paying the NFL tons of money because our government is.
Oh, good.
To have ads for the military by doing these crazy things. So Colin Kaepernick was like, I'm going to kneel. I'm going to sit because, there's a lot of black people being killed by cops, and that's pretty fucked up. And there's a lot of racism in the country that still exists, and that's pretty fucked up. So I'm going to sit down to bring people to notice that. And then some former army guy, I don't remember his name, was like, hey man, I believe that you have the right to do this because you're an American, but you should probably kneel because that's more respectful, and it will still send a message because you're supposed to stand for the anthem. So if you kneel for the anthem, that's respectful. And so he's like, all right, I'll kneel. And it's like, you got this soldier saying, kneel for the anthem. That's respectful, but also a way to show that you're doing something. And And then people still flipped out over that. And he had a pretty decent season his last year. Like good. He was legitimately like top half of the quarterbacks in the league. Good. And they didn't sign him after that. And I was like, huh, that's weird.
Oh, that's
weird. I get it. He's not a traditional quarterback style. Like, he plays a little bit differently. He runs the ball a lot. Some teams aren't built to play that way. I understand. But, if you're good enough, like he was, you build your team around it. Because that makes sense. Because if you have a good player who's good, you want to build them around him to win. Which they were doing. And then they're like, no. And then 2 years later, he still doesn't have a job. Even though there's really bad quarterbacks, including last year when Aaron Rodgers was hurt. Packers backup was absolute horseshit and terrible, and he lost 5 of 7 games. Brett Hundley is fucking garbage, and they finally got rid of him this year for the backup that is now the Browns' ex-quarterback who they decided to get rid of, which doesn't bode well because Aaron Rodgers got injured tonight. And the reason why I want to rant about this is because I was all about to be like, you know what? I'm done with the NFL. Because last year, Green Bay had a press conference where someone asked if Colin Kaepernick should be considered to be on the team, and Mike McCarthy got super angry and said, and I want to say that's a complicated situation because him getting angry also makes sense because you're a coach, and when somebody questions the players on your team's ability to play, you're going to want to defend them publicly because if someone's like, hey, you got 2 backups, but shouldn't you sign this other guy? You're going to want to defend them because they're your fucking team, and you got to fight your team in the media because otherwise people think of that. But also, after 2 or 3 games of them being fucking terrible like they were last year, you probably have to say, well, you know what? They had a shot, so we're going to have to go some other way. But they didn't because the whole fucking NFL has collusion against this player, and so I was just mad. And the whole anthem shit pisses me off, and it's annoying, and I just was sick of it, and I was like, you know what? Just clean slate. Aaron Rodgers got signed for a new contract. Packers, kind of reworked the team a little bit. They fired their defensive coordinator, who was really bad the last few years. So it's going to turn it around. And the first game in, second quarter, Aaron Rodgers hurts his knee and gets carted off, and he's probably going to miss the rest of the season. And I'm like, why did I get my hopes up? Ugh. It just sucks because I was gonna quit. And I was like, fine, one more chance. And immediately I got fucking punched in the face. So, I mean, God damn it. When's the NBA start? Way too soon from now. Or not way too long from now. I think it's the end of October. Or
end
of September. Yeah. It's sometime in October it begins.
So I've got 2 tangentially related things related to this.
That's
Number one.
Kind of related.
Rodgers is trending right now. 54.1 thousand tweets right now. Which is only going to go up and then go back down because that's how Twitter works. It's a cesspool and a hole.
It's also an immediate reaction machine, so it's like whatever's happening right now.
Exactly. On the other side of things, oh my fucking god!
What?
With the I stand versus I kneel.
Oh yeah.
Because
it's absolute dog shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kind of keep this quiet.
You're in enemy territory? Is that what's happening?
100%. My house is full of closet racists that think that because they're not using the N-word, they're not racist.
Oh no!
And their whole thing about the kneeling for the national anthem is, oh, you must hate America, must hate American money. Get out of my fucking country. That's not what is going on.
Yeah.
But
that's what the conversation has been warped into. So it's like...
Yeah, exactly. Enough people with apparent clout have completely morphed all of these conversations lately into things that feel right.
Yeah, and it gets to the point where simpler both sides aren't even talking about the same thing anymore.
Yeah, where everything's just, well, my feelings are more important than the facts. Fuck this. I don't like this show to get political. Fuck that all. Fuck it all to hell. Well, my kids are still awake. I'm swearing.
I thought that might be why you were swearing very, very quietly.
I think the problem with the whole thing is that it's not a political thing.
No.
Whole, the reason why Kaepernick was kneeling is because of the horrible racism and police brutality against black Americans There's nothing political about that. That's a
Yeah,
bad
until
thing
some
that needs to be
asshole in a big
fixed.
fancy house decides to make it a political thing.
Exactly. And then when you make it about politics, people take sides
Yep,
and
I
won't
have
listen
and I have
to reason.
I have to steer what my kids are hearing in this household because I don't want them to turn into closeted racists.
Yeah.
Because they're going to hear the simple answers, and things aren't simple. Life isn't simple. Nothing's that simple.
No. Nothing's black or white.
But I've got people in the house who will scream things about, oh, if they don't like America, fuck them, get them out of my country.
I just want to kill myself.
Oh, didn't I?
The season's over. It's over.
Where did I see that on Twitter or was that on Discord? Because it was a little miniature video that was like a little chibi anime girl, and it was I want to E and D my LYFIE or sorry
Thank you.
MYLIFE. Yeah,
I do.
I must have retweeted that a while ago. I need to find it again.
Okay, I want to make myself feel better.
Yes, we do.
So let's talk about that happened.
Yes, I love that happened.
All right, here we are. Now this is a comment to a YouTube video, so you know it's got to be real.
Oh, of course.
That's the
All right.
realest place there is.
We still got NFL music going on in the background too, which I love. Thank you, Matt. It was actually worked for the rant. So anyway, yeah. So that's one reason why I like basketball. And actually, I kind of went from being a football fan to a basketball fan. Was a lot of the horrible racism around football fans. Like it's really kind of turned me off the sport.
And it's
people
getting worse.
are like, and the problem is like people will complain about how, you know, oh, this has divided the country and the NFL ratings have gone down. The ratings have gone down because not because people that were racist stopped watching, is that people who got tired of being associated with the racists stopped watching. So
yeah, and
it's
from
kind of
like an
it's
outside
from both sides
perspective-
stop watching. Like
From an outside perspective, it seems like the sort of leadership in the NFL is trying to like be middle of the row and
Yeah,
like not piss
both
anyone
sides.
off, and by doing that they're managing to piss everyone off.
correct, which is why they fixed the anthem stuff. So the I believe right now, I think the rule was they fixed that. I believe the teams do not have to be out on the field for the anthem, so there'll just be the audience. So that way, but I think they still can go out there. I think it's like they're allowed to not come out for the anthem or something like that. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, they kind of like punted. Originally, they changed the rule to force players to stand, which immediately was like, no, that's ridiculous. Like, and they would get fined if they didn't. Oh man.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's got
it's a bunch of old, rich white dudes telling a bunch of young African American people what to do. What does
Yeah.
that sound like to you? Anything?
Shut up and
Okay.
entertain us.
Yeah.
Oh
anyway.
yeah, and that exact quote that Matt just said is very similar to a rant I did probably about a year ago
Yeah.
in a whole bunch of tweets,
Oh, yeah.
where I think it's the people who are like, these people are ruining my NFL are just treating the athletes as their toys to watch. You know, you can't get political because that's, you know, because you're my toy and you keep up my toy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, it's because good old Fox News, Laura Ingraham, quote unquote, said to LeBron James and Kevin Durant after they basically, let's see here, Durant James saying the president doesn't give a fuck about the people. He's talking about black people.
Yep.
And she called their comments ignorant. You're great players, but no one voted for you. Millions elected Trump to be their coach. You know, of course, not the majority of the
not
U.S.,
as many as
but millions
elected
did. So keep the political comment to yourself. As someone once said, shut up and dribble. Ah, yes. Definitely. Nobody cares about your opinions. Go play your sport.
Yeah. No
yes.
free speech for you. Only for racists.
On Twitter. Anyway, all right, so let's stop about that.
So
Let's
now
feel
that
better.
we've
Yes.
gotten rid of all of our listeners,
Galvanize them. I'm just exhausted by the whole thing more than anything.
No,
But anyway,
I get you, but by being exhausted, I think that's the point, is to get us all exhausted and de-engaged with the whole process. Because that will keep the status quo. I'm sorry.
enough.
I'm moving on. More fun.
All right. So this is from a YouTube comment. This is on Reddit /that happened, which is one of my favorite Reddits. But anyway. My family lived in a cursed house. The old owners practiced voodoo and left voodoo dolls.
That's almost like voodoo. But
Yeah,
wrong.
almost, but they spelled it wrong. In my bedroom, we burned the dolls. We
Okay.
what? We found some dolls. Let's burn them. Then on Halloween night, not a conspicuous night at all, my older brother drew a picture of a demony-like thing and put it under his pillow. The following night, he asked my mom if he could sleep in her bed that night. My mom asked why, and he proceeded to point in his bedroom door and yell, "He's after me! Can't you see him? He's after me!" She said she could sleep with her for the night. The next day, she was cleaning his room, and she found the drawing. She showed the picture to my brother, and he screamed, "That's him! Get him away! Get him away!" She burned the picture. A lot of burning of things going on in
You
this
can't solve all your
family.
problems by burning things. Just most
Then-
of them.
Then she brought a healer to the house.
Oh, like a dog, like a blue heeler?
yeah. No, yeah, exactly. You know, my party, I always like to have a healer because if you don't have that healer,
Yeah.
you always have to go to the inn all the time.
I mean, you want a
to
cleric,
heal.
ideally, but like a friar will do. in a pinch.
Healer for hire. That's me.
Yeah. All right. So the healer said that there is a force much stronger than his methods of healing. V instructed everyone in the house. I'm assuming they.
Probably.
All right, but it's just him because he called him it. His methods. Anyway, sorry. V instructed everyone in the house to go outside and wait while he cleaned the house of negative energy.
And
my dog was
Took
going.
all of the spare change on the dresser.
Yeah, right. Jerked off in our bathroom. My dog was going crazy, barking at the door because this stranger was jerking off in our bathroom. When we were allowed to come in, she dashed across the hall into my brother's bedroom. She went under his bed and took out a rosary with a cross on it, like every rosary has. She ran to my room and put the rosary on my shelf. She's a small dog, and my shelf is 3 times taller than she is. Then the healer whispered something into my mom's ears. She ran to my room and opened the closet door. She screamed. When she looked inside, there were corpses that this stranger had put there. Like, what?
Wait.
She screamed. No, I'm joking. Like, what the fuck? Like, this stranger is like, let me fuck around in your house for a while. And then he whispers something to your mom, and she runs into the room and screams. There in my closet were dozens of voodoo dolls, all cut up and pinned. She burned them the following day. Well, I've told you enough. Sweet nightmares. 332 upvotes.
Cool. That's a cool story.
Yeah.
I bet
Why
it
do they
was
burn
real.
everything?
Because, I don't know.
Where do you burn? Like, unless you have a
Because it
house
was
that has,
really
like, a
uncreative
burn pit.
writer.
Like,
Oh, how do we get
What?
rid of these voodoo dolls? Burn them. Okay. How do we
Yeah.
get rid of this other thing?
no,
burn
sorry.
it.
Come on. Voodoo dolls.
Yeah.
They're not
yeah.
voodoo. They're voodoo.
I assumed that in their internal monologue they weren't saying voodoo though, but maybe.
There's no way to know because they didn't spell it right, so they could have been talking about something else. All right, you want another one?
I do. I want.
I got
nothing more.
I got 2 more. They've been sitting on the queue for, let me look, 2 months or so, according to Reddit. So here's a good one. In grade 8, okay, so this has to be a Canadian person because that's how they say it. Like, I got my grade 8,
Yeah.
or UK, right?
Yeah, I
Don't they
think
say
they do that in UK too.
Okay. Well, but I think this is
But
Canada. 'cause
I think you should imagine that it's Ricky from Trailer Park Boys.
But do they have Sour Patch Kids? Because that's coming up. In England, what do they have? They probably have like Sour Sallies. You know, they don't just have regular Sour Patch Kids. They've got like fucking Sour
Sammy Bobbit.
Sammies. Oh, I got my
Squidgely
sour school children.
They
Anyway,
have an
all
actual
right.
cookie called a Jammy Dodger, so
Yeah, they do.
those
They got a bunch
fake
of dumb
words
shit.
weren't too far off.
Yeah, they have a digestive biscuit. What is that? That doesn't sound like a treat. That sounds like
That's
medicine.
like a patent medicine that turned into
Wait,
food, like graham crackers.
I was discussing with some Brits about digestive biscuits,
Uh-huh.
and I've heard that some of the now, first of all,
Oh boy.
Graham crackers, unflavored, are digestive biscuits to begin
Yeah.
with.
Yeah,
Basically.
But
they're to
on the other
prevent
side of
you from
things,
masturbating.
what we describe
What?
as those windmill cookies,
Yeah.
those almond cookies, are also another version of digestive biscuits.
Well, yeah, digestive biscuits is like a bunch of different things. It's
Yeah.
just like a style of like
Cookie.
bland, slightly like sugary, crunchy cookie. They're meant to be like eaten with tea because they like you dip them. A lot of people will dip
Like
them in their
biscotti?
tea. Yeah, basically, but British, so way
Yeah.
worse.
Biscotti's
So-
disgusting.
Yeah,
Well,
actually, I
because
hate
it's hard as crap.
Actually, I hate biscotti because no, like a digestive isn't like rock hard like a biscotti. Is there
Yeah.
anyone ever had a good biscotti?
No.
No, biscotti's garbage.
They're always
I
so
like
hard.
biscotti flavored things. I just don't
Yeah.
like
'Cause
biting into actual
You have to
biscottis.
dip the biscotti. You
Yeah,
can't.
you basically have to like dunk it in your coffee for like 2 hours for it to like become soft enough to eat.
I used to work at a bakery. We had biscotti. That was the one thing we didn't throw away at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's already stale.
Yeah, it's already hard. It's only going to get more edible as it sits out
That's what
and
she said.
gains moisture. Oh! All right.
I like my
In grade
biscottis
8.
aged in oak barrels.
In grade 8, I really hated this girl, so I collected the sugar from my pack of Sour Patch Kids and gave it to her, saying it's cocaine, and she actually snorted it at recess. She pretended she was high, and she was called crack whore for the rest of the year. Now she does real crack and blames me, saying I got her addicted. She still doesn't know. It was just sugar. Yes,
Yep. Okay.
because an 8th grader had cocaine in school and was like, this is totally not sugar, which is definitely very different from cocaine.
Is immense pain from Sour Patch Kids in my nose? Is that what being high is? I guess
Yes,
I'm
because
that now.
Because, well, is the sugary coating of Sour Patch Kids sour?
Yeah.
It is, right? That's the sour
Yeah.
part. It's
Yeah.
got citric acid powder in it, so it's sour. Yeah, your nose would explode if you did that. Holy shit. Anyway, but that's all true. Obviously, that happened. So
Yeah.
No, of course.
and then
not.
I have
Nobody
one
ever
more.
lies on the internet, John.
No, of course. Well, my parents used to say, "Don't believe everything you saw on the internet," but then they
Yeah.
believed every crazy conspiracy theory
Exactly.
about Hillary Clinton that they read on the internet. So I guess now everything you read on the internet's
No,
true.
well, no. It's more nuanced than that. It's don't believe
Okay.
anything you read on the internet unless if it's a crazy conspiracy theory about a Democrat.
Okay,
Then it's
then
true.
it's true.
Then
Then,
it's
it
definitely
definitely
true.
happened. Okay, fair enough. All right, let's find this one out here. I spent 3 weeks in a mental hospital, and what I discovered there, I feel like should be put into words. I also feel like I should learn how to put sentences together because that was a mess. All right. We are not who you think we are. The boy with turrets told the funniest jokes. Yes, Tourette's spelled horribly wrong. It's literally spelled like gun turrets. The boy with turrets. So I like to imagine like a boy with 2 little turrets on his shoulder, like gun turrets, and they're like, he told the funniest jokes.
What
The
if
girl
you had
who
turrets and Tourette's
Yep.
like at the same time? Like one
That-
doesn't preclude the other.
Yeah, but like part of the Tourette's is that the guns go off
Yeah,
without
they're
him like,
voice
trying.
activated guns, which
Yeah.
is a really bad design
And
decision.
they go off when he swears or has Tourette's. Tourette's is so weird too because like a lot of
Alexa,
people
please fire my shoulder turret.
yeah, because a lot of people think about like Tourette's being like you just yell the F word and stuff in public,
Yeah.
but like it's more just like tics. Like
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
people Tourette's will just be like when you talk you move your eyebrows crazy
Like
you'll-
Ethan.
or exactly like he's really but that's like a mild Tourette's.
Yeah,
It's a
his is super
spectrum.
mild.
Yeah, and so it's like kind of a thing. It's just like a facial or vocal tic that you do when you're talking and without knowing. And anyway, so some people have really crazy stuff, but other people anyway, it's like OCD. You can have like light OCD, or you can be someone who thinks
Yeah.
if you don't flip your light switch 10 times that the power will go out and your house will start on fire.
Yeah,
because
and
you didn't
you-
do it.
There's a whole subset of OCD that doesn't have actual compulsions like that. The
Yeah,
main
exactly.
thing is the like obsessive worrying inside of your own brain.
Yeah. So anyway, well maybe those people are here because we're going to learn more about all the people that
All
this
right.
person met.
One of
When they
them
were
had
spent-
superpowers.
When they spent 3 weeks in a mental hospital and they wanted to put into words what they saw by writing them like you would put anything into words. Anyway, sorry. The girl who raked her nails up and down her skin could create the most exquisite drawings. The girl who abused drugs had the wisest soul. Yes, the drug abuse in the mental hospital. I don't think that's... Usually they go to rehab. It's like a different... I mean, she probably had something else wrong with her if she was in the mental hospital. Anyway, the boy with schizophrenia had the biggest heart. The girl who tried to kill herself told the boy with insomnia stories to lure him to sleep. The boy who wanted to kill himself had the deepest passion for cooking. That's a weird one. The girl with slits and scars all over her body dried my tears and told me I was beautiful. The boy with anger issues gave the warmest hugs. The girl with bulimia told everyone every day that they looked beautiful in their bodies. The boy who was a compulsive liar, that's definitely something you go to mental hospital for, told us that...
This is like a Hitchcock S inserting himself into the story.
Yeah. The boy who was a compulsive liar told us he wanted us all to get better, and that he was, for once, telling the truth.
And you can believe me, because I'm a compulsive liar.
The girl who almost drank herself to death stood up for anyone when they felt were being bullied. The boy with social anxiety made sure nobody sat alone at meals. We are not who you think we are.
And I had the time of my life.
My love. And the Packers season's over. Why? I have this on in the background. I keep flipping over,
You're
and it's just
slowly degrade into like Packer madness, and then you too will end up in that fictional asylum.
That's true. I'll start yelling at people that kneel for the anthem. God, it's so awful.
So how's your Nike boycott going, everyone?
Not good. I have a bunch of Nikes, and I like them. I have some nice Nikes.
Funny thing is
Nikes?
I think Ford is also supporting it too.
Supporting the boycott or the spokesmanship.
The spokesmanship.
Oh man.
Those
people, they won't be able to watch football or buy Ford trucks.
Aaron Rodgers is out on the sidelines on the second half, and he's still wearing his uniform. He's still in pads.
I thought that was a very good joke, TJ, even though John ruined it.
It's okay. I stole it.
Oh, sorry. He's still in pads, though. Oh, that's good. He's not wearing the, I'm sitting out the rest of the game hoodie. So
he's not wearing a big blue tent.
He just drive the cart with a big tent out, and it's got a little peep window that he rolls down, and he looks while he's, being worked on inside. No, they just took him in there and gave him, 18, cortisone shots directly to his knee, and they were like, you must play.
Here, just, you won't feel any further problems, so you're fine. Just go play. Have fun. Don't think about it.
Yeah, honestly, though, if I was the Packers and I was worried about his injury and this game is already kind of going off the rails, I would just be like, why don't you just sit the rest of the game? Because you don't need to hurt your knee again. Because obviously, we're not protecting you and you're going to get tackled a bunch because, oh my God. Anyway, I don't want to talk about football anymore. Ah! All right, let's talk about, somebody bring up a thing that happened to them.
I got. And Matt.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. Quack, Mr. Ducksworth.
Quack. Quack, quack. Mr. Ducksworth.
Tell me about the Mighty Ducks.
I watched
a more delightful and less aggravating sports thing.
Oh, until you get into the second one where the coach of the Iceland team specifically targets Gordon Bombay's knee to take him out.
Like the horrible Bears.
So isn't the whole Mighty Ducks saga an allegory of what's going on in the NFL right now anyway?
I think it is.
Redistricting for rich white people purposes.
There's potential injury. There's
so
love
what's
of the game versus
Sorry.
winning.
Can you go over the original plot of what the Mighty Ducks is? Because it's like a Bad News Bears, right? It's all these ragtag
so Gordon
team.
Bombay is
he was an
big
NHL
fancy
player.
lawyer boy. Well, yeah,
right?
he was a minor league hockey player before he became a lawyer.
Yep. Got it.
And everybody hates him. And then he gets a DUI.
Oh,
and he goes to court.
I forgot it was the plot from the South Park episode where he does that.
And he goes to court, and the judge that sentences him does not recuse himself after previously showing that he already hates Gordon Bombay. And he gets sentenced to some community service. And because his boss has strings to pull, that community service is coaching Pee Wee hockey. And you know what? This might just be the magic sauce that they need to come together as a championship team and win everything. The end.
Basically.
Okay.
I mean, there's a bit of other things in there. I mean, Ducks is just happens to be a bunch of. I mean, there's a couple of talent, but it's a bunch of garbage kids.
But it's more like these are like talented kids that were passed over because of certain flaws or quirks.
And they all have their own special skill that comes together.
In this Pee Wee Hockey League, it is done by districts.
Okay.
It's done by physical locales of where you live.
Yeah.
And there happens to be someone really, really talented on the rival team. You know, it's a big rival.
Yeah.
That it's just their parent had some strings to pull that got them into the team that he wanted, not the team that he should have been in, which was the Ducks. And halfway through the season, main character dude,
Gordon Bombay.
Emilio. It's fine. Gordon Bombay.
Which is, by the way, an incredibly awesome name for a character.
Yes.
Gordon Bombay.
But he uses his lawyerness to essentially be like, no.
To look at a map.
To look at a map and say, no, he's supposed to be in our
You
team.
gerrymandered these hockey districts.
And he's like, no, he's my team. Thank you.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. Yeah, I remember that now. And then the kid's like all kind of like, oh, man. And then he like,
he's like,
oh,
no,
this team is actually
hockey.
great. Yeah.
I just want to play.
Okay, I get this movie really complicated in my youth and confused with the Mighty Ducks, Little Giants.
Yeah.
And
is it because they're all the same movie?
I was like way into D2 as well. I like that one more than the first one, only because it was the one I had on VHS, so I could watch it hundreds of times. We didn't have the other one for some reason. And that's where I first learned that Icelanders are hockey Nazis.
I get Little Giants confused with Big Bully.
Big
I don't know
Bully.
that one.
That's not sports related.
No, it's not, but it just has the same feel. And I think they're both Rick Moranis boys.
Yeah, Rick Moranis. Oh, you're right, because they have the same feel, because Big Bully is Tom Arnold and Rick Moranis, where Rick Moranis is like the younger, I think is he a younger brother in that?
No, I think it's just, the same.
No.
To his hometown where he faces the childhood nemesis whose life he ultimately.
It's actually very similar to Little Giants then, because it's Rick Moranis is like the little guy, and then the high school guy who is the bully guy to him is the coach of the good team, and he's the coach of the Little Giants, and so it's kind of a similar dynamic. It's basically the same movie without the children playing football part, but it does involve children because he's a high school teacher, so or a school teacher, so it's like it's very similar. It's also probably really bad, but Little Giants is incredible.
When I was in grade school, I read the novelization of Little Giants.
I read
existed?
Yeah, I read the beginning of the novelization for Little Big League.
Oh man!
So Little Giants was really good. Of course, everyone remembers Sandlot.
Yeah, that's the best. That's the ultimate.
I was never into Sandlot.
Really?
I don't know why.
Is it because you don't have a soul?
No,
rewatch it now.
It's because I was 8, I guess. I was a little too young for Sandlot.
Yeah.
Because Little Giants is 1994? I don't know. I guess I was 9. I don't know what it is. It was about football, and mine was a football family, not a baseball family. So, I guess that made sense to be more. What else? But
those Little Giants kneeled for the end.
What was the baseball one? Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year. Oh, that's the one. Yeah. Sorry. What was Little Big League?
That was 93. Holy shit! So all of these movies came out in the 3 or 4 year period in the early 90s.
Hold up. You ready to get really confused? Rookie of the Year is the kid with talent that joined the team, or was really, really young.
Correct.
No,
it's not. That's not true. That's not true. Not a kid with talent. Kid who gets into freak accident
Yeah.
who makes his arm throw like 95-mile-an-hour fastballs.
No, but I think it's magic because he lost it by the end of the movie.
Correct.
Yeah, because he
But-
fell out of baseball again.
He literally lost it like right before the last pitch in the movie, and he somehow throws a strike at the end.
Yeah.
Through
Even
trickery and deceit.
Exactly.
Little Big League is about a kid who inherits a team. A
So
Major League
he's
Baseball
like the
team.
owner?
Yes. Owner and manager.
Daniel Stern directed Rookie of the Year? He's in it. He's like the manager, I think, in Rookie of the Year, or his coach or
Would be
whatever.
surprised.
But that's cool. I mean, that movie's actually, out of all of these, like, did the most in the box office.
Yeah.
Like,
And I saw
it was-
the guy that played that kid in Rookie of the Year play acoustic guitar at Comic-Con one year.
Thomas Ian Nicholas is the name of this guy. Anyway, but this was back when I was a Cubs fan. Back when I was a Cubs fan, because the Brewers were absolute dog shit in the 90s.
Oh, yeah, they were.
And part of it was that, like, I really didn't care about, like, sports very much. But, like, one of my best friends when I was, like, 6 or 7 was, like, a huge Cubs fan. And so I was just like, I'll be a Cubs fan, too, because I don't really watch baseball, so why not? And then this movie came out, and it was about the Cubs, and I was 8, so I was like, all right, I'm a Cubs fan, I guess. I had a Cubs hat and everything. And my parents didn't care because they don't really watch baseball. So that was it. And then when I stopped watching sports in, like, high school, before I started watching again in college, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to be a fan of all the local teams, because that's the right thing to do.
Let's
And, you know,
write a
probably
Disney movie where, like, there's an underdog ragtag esports team that we have to get together, and then some, like...
Isn't that in development right now?
it's got
I would not be surprised.
All right, I'm looking up sports kids movies, and a lot of these are not okay. I just want to say, when you Google search sports kids movies, let me tell you what you get. You get the first result: Ultimate Kids Movie, McFarland USA from 2015. Like, what?
What the hell is that?
Exactly. It was. I think it's one where it's a bunch of, like, is it a bunch of Indian kids or Pakistani kids who go to high school, and it's Latino, and he teaches them to be, like, an excellent, like, cross country team, basically. I don't know. Anyway, it's Disney, and it's terrible. And not terrible, but, like, not a kids movie. Like, what kid is watching that? All right, let's see. Number 2 on the sports movies for kids. Remember the Titans.
Yeah.
That's not a kids movie. All right, and then we get
Maybe
The
you should
Sandlot.
search best kid sports movies starring kids.
But, like, okay, Mighty Ducks is like the 10th entry here. All right, I'm gonna go to an actual, like list. Here's Parents Magazine. Here we go. What's Parents Magazine say? I don't think Sandlot would be one that would be right to pick, right? Oh my God, Air Bud, get out of here!
Oh yeah, the whole Air Buddies universe.
Oh, one that I remember now, starring a young Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Danny Glover and Tony Danza. A little Angels in the Outfield.
In the outfield,
And
yep.
Christopher
Danza was
Lloyd.
in that?
Yeah, he was.
Man.
That movie, by the way. Oh my God! Oh, there's so many people in this movie. Okay, Matthew McConaughey and Adrian Brody are both in the movie as background extras, apparently. Which is amazing. Like, okay, they're just hanging out. So, yeah, so it's actually I really like that movie, because the idea was his dad was like, I'm leaving, kid. And he's like, well, will you ever come back? And he's like, yeah, kid, when the Angels win the pennant. And the Angels are like the worst team in the league. And then a bunch of Angels show up. So I just want to say this.
Yes.
God is
Yes.
deciding
Yep.
to completely make a sport uncompetitive.
Yeah.
He's ruining competitive balance by sending literal angels to make a team better.
Yeah. It's a movie about God cheating. at
It's
baseball.
literally about, if you pray, you can cheat to win.
Yeah.
And, but
The
then
key
what
is
happens
you have
is,
to
of
pray
course,
harder than the other team though, because
The
they're
angel-
going to be praying too.
yeah. But of course, the Angels win the pennant, and nobody gives. His dad doesn't give a shit because he's deadbeat dad. But then he actually realizes that all of the friends he's met along the way are his real family, and he's fine. So, anyway,
And
Bad News
everyone
Bears
gets
on this
adopted
list.
by Tony Danza.
That's good. Although if I remember correctly, Bad News Bears, does he swear a lot in that movie?
I think there's 2 iterations of it.
It's
the
a PG,
Walter Matthau one.
but it's like a 1970s PG, so there's like only a couple boobs in it. Like, remember that? Like you watch like Stripes and you're like, this is PG, and then there's
That
just
was
full on
PG?
frontal nudity. Yeah,
Whoa.
there was no PG-13.
I
So
guess
they're
so
like-
they were like, it's not R, I guess.
Did you know that this country got way more conservative in the 80s for some reason?
Weird.
And people
Why?
were like, you know what? We can't see boobs, but you can blow a guy up, and that'll be PG-13.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, you have to desensitize kids to feel that
So
military-industrial complex.
So you could blow a guy up, but you can't blow a guy.
Hey.
Like in 1984's Police
Sound
Academy.
effect.
all right, let's keep going through this list of
Oh.
parents.com best 10 sports movies for families. All right, I'm sorry, I skipped a couple here. We've got A League of Their Own, which is the first one. I get that. I mean, that's a fun movie, and it's not really a kids thing, but it's, you know, I think kids would watch it because they're sports, and it's kind of, it's actually, that's a really good movie, actually, so I don't really say much about that. Air Bud. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess.
Can't wait.
We have an episode about the Air Bud
What the fuck?
Stings movies.
Can't
Michael
wait
those are
till they bring
previous-
together the Air Bud cinematic universe.
Oh, so many.
It-
So many movies.
Yeah, let's not worry about that. Anyway, Bend It Like Beckham, starring
Oh,
like a 10-year-old Keira Knightley. She's like 18, but
Yeah, that's a good
no, it's
movie
actually
for kids.
it's actually a really good movie. Well, like for like teens, like young teens.
Yeah.
Because that movie's like about like choosing your passion, you know, and like not being stuck with what you're like. I don't know. It's just like a really good like movie about like different cultures, and I don't know. It's just like really good. Like it's a really good movie. Like
Yeah, and it just
highly
the whole thing
recommend.
has like a really cool, weird British style to it
Yeah.
that's different
Yeah.
from a lot of other movies.
yeah, and if you're like, you know, like John in like 2003, you're like, oh, there's these pretty girls,
Yeah.
and I'm in high school too, and they're in high school, so.
Yeah.
But it also is like a really legitimately interesting plot. So, Ice Castles, 1978. What the fuck? An ice skating
that?
movie, like an Olympic ice skating movie starring Tom Skerritt. Some people I've never heard of. Wow. Okay, that is not one. Okay, here we go. Mighty Ducks on the
Yeah.
list.
Yep.
PG classic. Yuppie Lawyer. Would you describe him as a yuppie?
Yuppie, yeah.
I think so. By the like early '90s, late '80s definition of yuppie.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I like how they're like saying this is basically Scrooge meeting the Bad News Bears. I'm like, so you're just literally admitting that this is a rehash of Bad News Bears. Like,
Yeah, but on ice.
oh, nice, yeah. Well, anyway, but it's really good, and actually it was so good that they created an NHL franchise based on the team
Yep.
Yep.
that actually won the Stanley Cup like 1 year before the team was disbanded because Disney didn't want to pay for it anymore. I think they
Did they
changed their
disband it?
name.
Or they just changed the name of the Ducks?
They changed their name. I don't even remember what they're called now. They may have moved the team too. Ah, yes, the 1944 film National Velvet,
Oh yeah, everybody loves whatever that
starring
is.
an extremely young Elizabeth Taylor from 1944 as the child who is like wants her kid like horse to run in the national steeplechase. Like what? No kid is going to watch a movie. If it's black and white, no child will watch that movie. Like whatever. Anyway, Rudy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, Rudy, there we go.
But these don't have enough kids in them. You know what I mean?
So you're thinking more movies like The Big Green.
No, I'm thinking, yeah, Big Green, yep. But here's another good one, Karate Kid. That is
Yep.
top 10.
Which we
Mighty
talked a little
Duck-
about last week. Did we talk about
Okay,
last week?
I got a much better list here because this is actual movies with kids in them. This is fatherly.com best sports movies to watch with your kids.
Okay.
Karate Kid, yes. D2 The Mighty Ducks. Wow, not even the
Yes.
first one, but yes, that's
Yeah,
also
that's-
good.
The second
Well-
one's better.
Yeah,
Well,
it is.
It's got a Keenan Thompson in it.
Exactly. It's got a better cast and
It's basically Miracle.
It's
but
just bigger.
with Mighty Ducks.
yeah. Bend It Like Beckham, yes. The Natural, okay, sure, I guess. Miracle. Miracle's a pretty good movie, but like also
No kids. I
There's
mean,
no
the
kids in
couch.
Eddie the Eagle. which is that movie about the guy who wanted to be like the British ski jumper, and they never had a competitor in the ski jumping competition.
And he was also a bird.
So he qualified.
So it's Cool Runnings, essentially.
Yeah,
you
Cool
know,
Runnings is the best sports movie.
this is insane. Who wrote this? They put in the movie. Okay, do you remember the movie Ladybugs?
No.
Where Rodney Dangerfield is a coach of a girls soccer team.
Like 7-year-old girls soccer team?
So it's basically Bad News Bears, but with Rodney Dangerfield. Like, what? Okay,
That's
come
uncomfortable.
on. That's just bad. All right, here. I'm just trying to find some good ones here, because have we gone through all of them possibly? These are like all not good. Best sports movies for kids. These are literally just sports movies. I want sports movies about kids, because kids like to watch movies about kids. Am I right, TJ?
Yes, I love watching movies about kids.
No, god damn it. No, you have kids. But they like watching movies where kids are the stars a lot of the time.
They've seen all of the Airbud movies. And yes, they are still Anaheim Ducks.
Or puppies, because, you know, like that's... Oh, so they're just
Yeah.
the Anaheim Ducks. They're not the Mighty Ducks.
Yeah.
Rookie of the Year, of course. Little Giants,
I'll do a
yes.
Bing search.
Space Jam, obviously. But that's a really bad movie, actually.
No, it's the best.
Big Green is
Best.
pretty good. Because
I
it's
will share a YouTube playlist of all of the Space Jam song mashups I have.
Okay, here's one that doesn't have kids, but Cool Runnings.
Yep.
That's really good.
Ooh,
There's
got
probably
one.
at least one kid in that.
Like Mike.
Uh,
Well, that
I
one
don't-
kid who's just
I didn't-
becomes good at basketball.
I did not watch that one.
It's not good,
So
but it is a movie.
Here's okay. The list goes for the
I got
older
one.
kids.
1994's Hoop Dreams, followed by a quick Wikipedia search after you finish the movie to see
Yeah.
where those kids ended up.
I was just about to say it said for the older kids, Hoop Dreams. I'm like, I don't think you want to watch the Hoop Dreams documentary. This is about a bunch of poor kids who strive really hard to get in the NBA.
well, the
and
documentary's fine because it ends like, oh, they might make it, but then you're like, no,
Yeah.
no. Oh,
Well,
no.
I read the book that the documentary is based off of as a kid, and it goes through the details. It
Was
goes
Kicking
further.
and Screaming kids?
Yeah,
Will
yeah,
Ferrell movie, Kicking and
yeah.
Screaming.
It's more recent. I think that's. But I think I always felt that was more of a
Will Ferrell
a
movie
Will
before it
Ferrell
was-
vehicle than like a thing, you know.
Yeah, I get that.
Anyway,
I'm gonna find some other ones.
yeah, I don't have
know
any
if I'm
other
looking-
good ones.
I don't know if I'm looking at the same
I
list
think
you
we've
have.
I think we've hit them all. Really,
Yes, I think
The
we've
ones with
named
lots of
every
kids.
movie.
Well, every movie. I guess Field of Dreams, right? There's a kid in that.
Probably.
If you
E.T.
include
has
high
a
school
baseball
kids,
in it.
you've got Varsity Blues.
What about Cool Runnings?
I think we already said that one.
Yeah. a
What?
couple
Wait,
times.
what was that movie that just came out this year about like volleyball?
Oh, Cool Runnings.
That's not it.
Coach Carter?
No, maybe.
Cool
No, that's
volleyball.
different.
No, the
running.
Miracle Season.
It's like the Miracle, but with volleyball. What do we call it? This is the Miracle Season?
It isn't like that at all. So actually, what's really interesting about the Miracle Season is just watch the Real Sports on HBO like segment about this true story instead of watching this movie, because that was more interesting seeing the actual people. Well, so the idea was that they had was this like super awesome like high school volleyball team, and they're undefeated for like all the years, and they're finally seniors, and she dies in a car accident. Or no, she has cancer maybe. No, yeah, okay. Sorry, she's visiting her mom who has. This is the most has to be true. It's so ridiculous. So during a party at her house, she decides to sneak away to visit her mother at the hospital, who is treated for cancer, and she dies in a moped accident.
Jesus
Like,
Christ.
while going to see her cancer mom. Yeah, literally. And so the team is like, how can we win? And then they end up like going undefeated the rest of the year and winning the championship without her. And it was like their whole like, we did it for her kind of thing, and it really happened. So like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, it makes sense.
Mhm.
Like, so like, it's a really good true story, but also It actually did. Apparently, Rotten Tomatoes says it's a pretty good movie. So I guess if you have like a kid who's like about like middle school or high school age who's way into volleyball, it'd probably be a really good movie for them to watch. So, anyway,
All right.
not many volleyball films out there except for Air Bud volleyball movie, whatever that one's called.
Something with Spike in it.
Air Spike.
It's something Airbud.
Well,
Spike
it
is
said
the dog
Air
pun
Bud
they put in it.
volleyball GIF, so I gotta look that up as it auto completed.
Well,
I gotta
while
imagine
you do,
it's stupid looking.
while you do that, I finally got.
This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Airbud spikes
They all
back.
are.
Yes, it's literally Airbuds jumping up and like spiking a ball, but it's very clearly a dog being held up with two paws, and the ball just gently taps his paws like this ball that was way up.
See, I'm a bigger fan of the obviously they took fake paws and put them out there.
I mean, they might be.
But I finally have the best kids sports movie. I found it. It's great. We got it, and we're done. It's the classic Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen movie, Switching Goals.
Oh shit! I've got another one then. What was the? Wait, did this really
Jesus.
not save as a fucking GIF? God, I fucking hate Google image search. I fucking right click and hit save as, and it saves the fucking JPEG of the first image of the GIF. God, I fucking hate Google image search. I use Bing now, literally, like to get stuff.
Why is Happy Gilmore and Waterboy in this list?
Oh, because they're great movies.
They are, but they're neither kids sports movies or great kids sport movies.
I disagree. I think they're
I don't think
great
there's
for-
kids in either movie. But
all
Benchwarmers in here, and that's not appropriate either.
There we
I
go.
like how at some point the Airbud people were like, fuck sports, let's just do space and then Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot more Spooky Buddies, too.
Okay, there's a lot of Airbud GIFs here on Giphy.com that I am gonna have to get here because.
Born in the 80s, home of your favorite Airbud gifts.
Yeah, right. I feel like we have to watch an Airbud movie now. and talk about it.
2012's Treasure Buddies, where the buddies are Indiana
Well,
Jones.
I think we almost watched a Christmas one that was like Snow Buddies. And it was about, like-
Santa Buddies.
Yeah, Santa
there's
Buddies.
Snow
that's the
Buddies.
Well, no,
too.
there's Nobody's, too, yeah. And there's, I think, 2 different Santa Buddies movies. So there's a sequel.
All right, let's check this Wikipedia page.
one. Okay,
Search for
sorry.
Santa Paws.
Yeah, so Airbud looks really dumb, but also is like the ultimate like kids thing. But didn't Airbud originally have like a rule where it was like, oh, there's no rule saying a fucking golden retriever can't play?
There's no rule that says a dog can't play basketball.
Oh, thank God, Aaron Rodgers entered the game.
Much like
Oh,
in
I
the
don't
Mighty
care if
Ducks,
they lose
there
now.
are no rules that say you can't change the roster or the coach or the jersey mid-game.
Yeah. Yeah, like, well, you know what's real? Oh man, sorry, I think it was SB Nation video. There was an NHL coach who did shit like that.
You didn't say the coach can't use performance-enhancing drugs.
The coach is using like that slow-mo drug from Judge Dredd.
I think it was. Is this right? Is this the guy? Yeah. Okay. So Roger Nielsen was. I think it's him. It's basically they yeah. So he was like multiple rules in the NFL rulebook were made, or NHL rulebook were made because of him, because he was well known for closely reading the rulebook, looking to exploit loopholes. During one particular game, in his first season coaching the Peets, I don't know who that is. It must be, maybe it was an AHL team before they combined because it was in the 70s. He was down 2 men on a 5-on-3 situation for the last minute of the game, realizing that more penalties could not be served under the existing rules. Basically saying, when you're 5-on-3, the rules state we can't take any more men out if you have penalties. So he was just like, let's do it. No, so what he did was he put too many on the ice every 10 seconds, and they'd have to stop the play and do a face-off because it was like, well, we can't remove someone, so we got to reset the puck. And so basically it relieved pressure from their defense of having only 3 players. Nielsen also took advantage of fans throwing objects on the ice to deliberately cause stoppages of play late in the game. So like, oh, there's something on the ice, we gotta stop it, guys, and so those guys could get a rest and like a break, and like come up with a play. So here's another amazing one. So you know how like in they have penalty shots in hockey, right?
Yep.
Okay. So Nielsen also discovered that in the rules, if he put a defenseman in the net instead of the goaltender during a penalty shot, the defenseman could rush the attacker and cut down the angle of shot. So basically saying, if you put a non-goalie in there, they could just run at the other guy or skate right at the other guy and knock him over.
You don't have to stay in the crease or anything. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, well, it's not in the rules.
And then he was like, knuckle puck, surprise, and they won the game, the sport.
Yeah,
game.
here it is. This is amazing. So it's perfect. Nielsen, okay, this is hot. It was a different time in the 60s and 70s. The Peterborough Petes and the opposing Toronto Marlboroughs. Anyway, he had his defenseman out there, and Frank Hamill went up to do his penalty shot, and as soon as he hit the blue line, he charged him, and like he wasn't able to make a shot, which is just amazing. Like, and so now the rule specifically says the goaltender must be in the penalty for the shot, and it cannot leave until the skater has hit the puck with their stick, basically. So that's pretty incredible. So it's just kind of like an awesome idea of like, this is a coach just like, you know what?
Just totally.
Why not exploit the rules though? Why not? It's a way. I mean, the NFL kind of has that today.
Yeah.
With Bill Belichick does a lot of the same stuff with the Patriots. Is they'll be like, well, there's no explicit rule against you doing this, and then sure enough, the next year the rule book will have something saying like, oh, you can't do this thing, you got to say, why not? Why, you know what I mean? Like, it's $1 million sport, you want to use as much advantages as you can get, for God's sakes. So
if I was a sports CEO, like after the Air Bud movie came out, I would have made sure that there was a rule stating no dogs can play my sport.
Yeah. So anyway, sorry. I'll link the SB Nation video to it because it's really cool, because they talk about how this guy just completely would just make rules. And where's that linked? Where can people find links, guys?
You can find them in our Discord.
.net and the Discord.
Yeah, it'll be on the
Mostly
Discord.
the Discord.
The links go on the Discord.
Patreon.com/bornintheeighties. You pay $30, and then you can see the link that John just posted.
Correct. You have to pay me though.
Yeah, it's got to be cash too.
Yeah, cash. Yeah, not Patreon. You put a pledge in, and you have to mail me a check.
No,
I'm looking at
the name of a parking lot that John likes to meet people in, so you have to meet him there, hand him an envelope full of cash.
Yes, you have to put envelope of cash into the mail and mail me the envelope.
And some batteries. Mail him some batteries too.
Yeah. Also, take a bunch of powdered sugar, pour it into the envelope, and then cut little tiny holes at the bottom of the envelope so it leaks a little bit, and then mail that to me because I really like receiving those. Please do not do that and put my name on the address, because then I will be arrested.
The guy that John's been describing, now that I'm seeing a picture of him, looks like he could have been played by Henry Winkler about 25 years ago.
Nice. That's a movie opportunity missed.
Yep.
I love when they talk about hockey, because like hockey back in the 60s was like, you could knock a guy out and it's not a penalty, like as long as you use your stick. Like, it's like they didn't have a lot of rules back in the day. Nobody wore helmets. People didn't wear face masks on their helmets.
Crazy.
It's just insane. And like people were like,
a lot of teeth being knocked out.
Oh yeah, and they're like, and it still happens because the face mask still isn't mandatory for players. You're allowed to decide if you want it or not, and why you would not have that blows my mind. Like it's just insane, because you don't, like, come on, man, like it's your life. You don't want your teeth knocked out, But whatever. It's kind of like a hockey thing, though. You know what I mean? Because like Ovechkin, one of the forwards for the Capitals, the team that won, he doesn't have a bunch of teeth, and I think he's proud of that, because it's his battle scars. You know what I mean? Like, for being an NHL player, and being a champion, like one of the best players in the game.
Yeah, there's two looks for a hockey player. It's missing teeth, and what I heard described of as flow, because I watched a whole video about this. It's the long mullet that everyone seems to be wearing.
Nice.
There's apparently an annual video that talks about the Minnesota state
I'm
like
looking at
all-star
pictures of
finals
what you're talking about.
of high school hockey players, and there's just like a whole video talking about their flow and their hair, and their hairstyles, and it is amazing, and I highly suggest we find the video link and watch it. I don't want to lose this list because I found another sports list, but I saw the first thing in this list, and I've already don't care about this list anymore because the first thing was Billy Elliot, which dance is great. Dance is very athletic. Dance is not a sport, at least not in this respect.
Yeah, unless you're on like a dance competition, maybe.
Or you're a dance fighter.
Oh,
Dance
yeah,
team or
capoeira?
Yeah.
Whatever it is, the Brazilian dance fighting? That's awesome. What was I going to look up? I was looking up... well, let's talk about video games.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's talk about
time.
sports video games. Let's talk about NBA 2K19.
I want that game so bad.
And let's talk about the interview where a producer of the NBA 2K series said, microtransactions are an unfortunate reality of making video games. And so if anyone's played the NBA 2K series, and this is a thing I've also made a point to people that don't like sports games, like, try the NBA 2K My Career, because it's basically an RPG.
Yeah, it's like a
Because
basketball RPG.
you like instead of battles, you play games, and you earn experience points to put into your like talent trees. To get better at playing basketball. So it's actually kind of a really cool thing. And then there's like storyline stuff where like you have to like, if you choose not to hang out with DeAndre Jordan, or you're going to lose relationship points with him, and if you lose too many relationship points with him, you can't unlock his like dunk ability. It's insane, like how much of an RPG these games are, which is what I loved about them. But I actually have stopped playing them recently because I think TJ's probably talked about it too, because he's been playing these, is that they've kind of made it more that you need to spend money on the virtual currency to make your My Player not completely trash. Like, it used to be...
I can talk about my experience last year compared to the years prior. In the NBA games in the past, I've been playing almost every year from 2K13 through 2K18. I did skip, I think, 15 in the midst of all of that. But usually I'll spend, I'll throw $20 on virtual currency because I don't feel like really leveling up my character, starting with an overall of 60. I want to get some boosts.
It's insane the way that the game is built with the My Career mode and My Player mode, because it used to be you would have closer to like 70 points or whatever, and it's still kind of broken because like LeBron James started in the NBA as like a top 10 player. Like, that's the player I want to play in My Career mode. And that's kind of the player that they, like, hype your player up to be in the storyline in the My Player mode. It's like, he's this brand new talent from high school. He's going to blow everyone's minds, and he's amazing. And then you get in the NBA, and you're, like the 200th best player in the league. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, why are my stats so low? Because they'll sell you. It's literally the most insane thing. So if you think of it as an RPG, they're literally selling you experience points.
Now you can earn them. It just takes forever.
Yeah, you got to play games. You got to grind out games.
In the past, I've just spent that first $20, and that was enough to at least make my player feel decent and just be able to play, and I never would have to spend another dime. I just did that just because it was easier.
But that's the problem with the games, is now it's like they kind of built in.
It got worse.
Yeah, now it's balanced specifically for that.
Yeah,
it got basically worse in 2K18.
Yeah.
2K18, I spent time. I wanted to try and spend time. Plus, I was playing it on a new console. Wanted to try it out on the Nintendo Switch that year. So I spent, I think, around 7 or 8 hours of gameplay. I'm trying to level my character from your starting overall of 60. You can only max out at 99. And with all of what I earned just from gameplay, from those 7 hours of play, I went from 60 to 64. And I'm like, if that's 7 hours, and I know that I know how the grind works, and it gets harder and harder I'm just like, I dropped $50. And that boosted me to the, without additional play, max of 85.
Yeah.
In order to actually get beyond that, you cannot pay your way past that.
Yeah.
You cannot. You actually have to do in-game stuff to boost your stat caps in order to keep working up. And last year, I know the goal was actually the road to 99. You got additional perks for each new stat point.
Yeah. I think when you hit a certain level, you can't use currency. You have to like unlock challenges to get the.
Well, you still can, but you still have to break your cap each time you want to at least use your currency for stat boosts.
Yeah,
but even at 85, I set up a 3-point shooter with defensive specialty, and I had my 3-point stat nearly maxed out. And in games, I'd be lucky to make 1 of 5. It was really, really difficult the way they actually set up the mechanics for that year, compared to years in the past where you at least felt like you can actually make shots. So they really wanted you to also buy boosters.
Yeah.
Which were temporary number of game boosts. While we were doing all this, I got the guy who does the high school all hockey hair team. Oh, I already did it. Why did I do it twice? But that's in our Discord if anyone wants to see it.
Sounds like the NBA 2K19 reviews are starting to come out, because that came out on Friday for
Friday was the
Ultra Edition or whatever,
and then Tuesday for the regular edition.
Oh, I don't see any reviews though. I guess the embargo's still up, so darn, because I'd like to talk about this more, and I was really hoping. And it's so from what I've read is people saying here we go. GameSpot has an official review out now. No, that's a user average. They haven't reviewed it. It sounds like people are saying, having played it, is that you're getting more currency per game now. It feels like you're getting more. So maybe it isn't so grindy. Because 2K18, they said, was the low point of the series. Like, it was like you had to grind to get points. So we'll see. I kind of want to buy it because it has the Bucks, Milwaukee Bucks player on the cover of the regular edition.
Yes, it does.
So that's kind of why I want to get it, and I've liked the series, but like I bought 2K15, 2K16 when they came out, and now I kind of haven't, because it's like I don't want to grind or pay money. Like, I don't know, like I'm sure the game's fine, but like it's just like I don't like supporting that, I guess. Like the nickel and diming. I don't know. Wait. Oh, there's some. Here we go. There's an article here. Here we go. NBA about the backlash and future. Okay, here's Strauss Zelnick, the CEO of Take-Two. He's saying, here we go. Unquestionably, we pay attention to consumer response because we're so focused on engaging, captivating, and entertaining the customer. Anytime we get feedback that's anything less than 1,000% positive, we stop and say, what should we do differently? I think there's a small sliver of the consumer base that basically wants everything for free. We can't really help those people. Yeah, okay. Thanks, buddy. We want everything for free, even though we paid $60 for a game. Whatever, like, we can't really help those people. I think more consumers want a fair deal. And what we do think of a fair deal is, you get the check at the end of the meal. It's not enough that the food tasted good, but it has to also be a fair deal for what you got. So we're focused on making it a fair deal. We want to give the customers more than they paid for. I mean, part of this has to do with Take-Two Interactive, who makes the 2K sports games. Grand Theft Auto 5 is also a thing they have. And the Grand Theft Auto 5 Online has generated massive amounts of revenue for Take-Two. I mean, like, Take-Two was, like, negative profits until Grand Theft Auto. It's literally like keeping their company alive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like, 2K18 sold 8 million copies. And still make, microtransactions, but, like, Grand Theft Auto 5 is a game from, like, when did that come out? Like, 2010?
I just
11?
started at GameStop when it came out
like an Xbox?
on old consoles.
Yeah.
So that was That was 2013 is when it came
Yeah.
out, September of 2013.
Yeah.
And then a year and a half later for modern consoles.
Yeah. So it's kind of insane. So like, we'll see if they actually do scale back that, and the system isn't quite a grind. You know, maybe I'll jump back in, but you know, we'll see. Ooh, the Green Bay Packers game is much closer. And Rodgers back. Oh, it's good. Oh, season's not over, Matt. Not yet.
Right. I was worried there for a second.
Not until we fuck it up again.
About the football season being
Thank
over.
God. I know how much you care.
Yeah, I was like, man, I hope he's not.
But
hurt.
anyway, did you actually hit the bit of there's another bit of controversy that 2K19
Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry.
has that came
Sure.
out this past week.
What, the fact that they usurped fucking Giannis Antetokounmpo's like cover by making a LeBron James cover as well?
Well, the
Bullshit.
LeBron James cover was announced before Giannis's for
Bullshit.
the special edition. LeBron James is the cardboard cutout in most GameStops right now.
Oh my God!
But anyway, no, there is a picture going around with a bunch of text done from 2K with an official statement because there are certain countries that are trying to tighten up their laws around loot boxes specifically.
Oh, is it Belgium?
I think it's Belgium, yeah. And that applies to the kind of stuff, not just in the My Team mode that no one plays in NBA 2K.
Yes,
also,
this is important. So yeah, just a little background about Belgium and Netherlands is that they have laws about microtransactions and online gambling that we talked about years ago when the CS:GO skin the game happened. So to get games sold in those countries, like TJ said, you have to have a response for their gambling claims. And actually 2K's website has a specific statement. I'll read the statement. I'll just read it. It's it's a paragraph here. The Belgian Gaming Commission has stated that games which include certain quote-unquote loot box style mechanics violate gambling laws in Belgium. While we disagree with this position, we are working to comply with the BGC's current interpretation of these laws. As a result, we've made some local changes to the My Team mode. You know, like TJ said, nobody plays. Everyone plays the My Career. These changes are necessary in order for us to accommodate the BGC's interpretation of the Belgian Gaming Act. Specifically, we'll be turning off the ability to purchase packs with premium, non-earned currency. Gamers are still able to acquire packs with My Team points. So it's basically like the game was before. You had to pay money. We will be continuing conversations with BGC in order to explain our view on how NBA 2K and My Team pack purchases already comply with local laws. They don't. They're literally loot boxes, which is exactly what they said that they didn't want. If you agree, we recommend you contact your local government representative to communicate your opinion. We will keep the community posted on any developments. We apologize for any inconvenience. So what this is like the Madden or FIFA Ultimate Team mode, where you can get card packs of players to put on your My Team, which actually sounds like a really fun mode now I'm thinking about it, because I'm sure it includes classic players as well. So
sometimes,
you can get, so you can get like mailman Eric Carl Malone from the Utah Jazz. I want him on my team. That's my ultimate team. Or Michael Jordan, and stuff like that. So that's pretty awesome. But so crazy. Yeah, another controversy. Jesus, stop gambling. Anyway,
just be sure to write to your government officials that you really want to be preyed upon with loot boxes.
No, right to the guy, who has the Reese's peanut butter cup giant coffee cup and makes a fun jokey thing about how net neutrality isn't a thing. And they made up a controversy saying that they were cyber attacked, even though it wasn't a cyber attack at all, and they lied to Congress about it. But whatever.
Yeah, I mean, lying to Congress isn't really a big deal.
Yeah, TJ, can we talk a little bit about your life? I want to know about you.
I have a lot of things going on.
So you brought a thing. What's going on? I see some Twitch streaming update and jobby interviews. What's going on?
So we'll start with the more recent thing, which is the Twitch streaming update. So
can I ask you a question about your Twitter though? You said something about how you have to spend a bunch of time in parking lots all day. What's going on with that?
Oh yeah. All right, that's something I got to be quiet about, but you kind of know. But
Oh,
listeners
oh,
don't.
oh, never mind. We don't need to describe this until way later.
Okay.
Never mind.
No.
I didn't realize that was what that was referring to. Got it.
Oh,
All right.
It's. They'll never get to them. It's fine.
No, I know, but what it teaches is like akin to like when you're like kind of going around looking for another job while you currently have a job and you don't want people to know that you're doing that, so you're kind of like, I gotta go to a meeting now, I got an appointment, so I'm gonna go. And I'm going to an appointment and definitely not going to a job interview, even though I work for you right now. Yeah, I get that. So you gotta like.
It's not exactly that.
No, but it's the same thing, basically.
Same idea.
Same idea.
So
Funny, but let's talk about that. I want to hear.
So yeah. Well, let's start with Twitch, and then we'll get the other stuff.
Your first job and love Twitch.
So exactly.
Yeah.
So, though my last night's Twitch stream didn't kind of do what I was hoping it would do.
I wish I would have seen it. I'm sorry.
It did some great stuff.
Oh, good.
Because
was there a bunch of N-words on there, like the one I was on?
Of course there wasn't, actually. I was playing Kingdom Hearts.
Okay. Yeah, when you play like Drawful and you have random strangers come on, they like to just troll you. With,
I'm surprised it took us this long to run into that, though.
I know, we've been playing those online for a while.
I've been playing online even without you guys, with a bunch of other people that were always great.
And I've played online with random other people, like just streamers, just like that. Yep. It's been fine. So just got unlucky. Love doing it. Just got bad luck on that one.
Yeah, we got bad luck. We'll keep doing it, but I think I'll probably turn on the require Twitch login for verification.
Yeah.
Which,
well, I mean, it could be and it could be as simple as like if you get you, me, Matt, and like my wife like together. That's like most of the group.
Live.
And then,
remember?
Yeah, exactly.
You guys remember Borat?
Yep. Borat. My wife.
So after last night's stream, my current 30-day rotating stats means that all I need to do is in the next, I think, 5 days, stream once for at least 40 minutes.
Okay.
With an average viewer count of about 2.2 or higher.
Call me crazy, but that seems doable.
So, question about affiliate status.
Yes, I can.
What is that? Does that allow people to subscribe via Amazon?
Yes. So
well, I will immediately do that for you.
Yeah, me too.
Because I have Prime and I never
tried
use
doing that before, and it's like, no, you can't do that if they're not affiliate.
So let me give you a short rundown of the affiliate program, how that would help me, and what I needed to do to be eligible. So, in order to be eligible for affiliate, I do have to satisfy 4 categories. I need to have at least 50 followers, which I'm now at 54.
Nice.
And I've been, it took me a while to get that 48 to 50, but now I'm like getting a little one here, a little one there. It's coming a bit more often, because that just tends.
Sorry.
Yes, that's what she said.
You got me, so I had to get you back.
And the next 3 of these categories has to be within a 30-day time span.
Yeah.
The same 30-day time span.
Well, the idea is they want you to be consistent, like over a period of time.
So, over that 30-day time span, you have to stream for at least 8 hours, which right now I'm at 7.36. You need to stream on 7 different days. I'm at 6 out of 7.
Okay.
And of that past 30 days, you have to have an average of 3 viewers, and I'm at 3.2 out of 3. So that's why I'm thinking I just need a 2.2 viewer stream, 40 minutes.
Here's the math.
And that's it. I didn't do the actual math. I'm just doing it off the head. So
once you get that, does it, like, do you have to keep that up every month?
No, you actually do not. I have dug into that. But once this happens, within a few weeks after my channel becomes eligible, I'll get the invite via email. I'll get the notification spot in the upper right corner of my Twitch TV, and I have to do some stuff.
Ticket and a chocolate bar.
Almost. So I have to provide some basic information, sign the agreements, provide my tax information, and then tell them where I want my payments sent. Whether it's direct deposit, wire, PayPal, check, or hold the payments until they get a certain payout amount.
How much monthly does an Amazon Twitch thing give you?
So that's in FAQs, but I'll do it all based off of what I remember.
Is it like $3 $5 a month?
Yeah, so
per person
of any subscription, The Amazon Prime subscription functions as a $4.99 subscription.
Yeah.
And I believe it's split something like 60-40.
Okay.
Something along the lines of 60 to Twitch and 40 to me.
Which is bullshit.
As an affiliate, it's that way.
As you move up the status, you get more of a cut.
Correct. So that would be $2 a month for every sub, at least lowest level sub.
I'm more of a dom.
I was trying to think of that joke, and you just got it for me.
I did it dumb.
DLG, we got it.
I didn't do a. Anyway, so you're looking for subs as a dom.
So looking for subs as a dom, correct? They pulled a lot of that from Craigslist. You can't find a lot of the people for people anymore.
Yeah.
That would also give me one emoticon slot, so I could put my own picture in.
My face. Make your emoticon my face.
Yep. No, make it your face, TJ. Come on.
I'll make it my logo face.
Yay!
Fine.
You know, the one I use already. And then people can cheer with bits in my channel, which that is now, even though you pay more for them, or you can use ads to get those bits, for every bit, it's 1 penny. I don't split that. It's just a penny. It's to me.
Nice.
And then, based on the games I'm playing, if someone clicks the link underneath the stream and buys the game, I do get a split of the profit.
Cool.
So that's how that works.
So I can get bits by watching ads?
Yes, you can get bits by watching ads.
I don't even get to watch ads because I have Amazon Prime.
You can farm the specific ads to get bits on your mobile version of the app and on the web version of Twitch.
Because I can play if I'm just here dinking around or something. I play ads.
No, even if you have Amazon Prime, I think you can still watch the ads for bits. You go to any channel that has a cheering spot, you can click the little link for it, and then there's a little spot that says "Get Bits." So I get cheers, I get subs, I get part of game sales, and coming soon, no particular date, I'll get a split of ad revenue.
Nice.
Now, this is the more important thing, is the transcoding, which is allowing people to have quality options.
I know a lot of people use coded language.
Exactly.
Trans is the appropriate title, correct?
Correct.
You're not supposed to use other heated gaming words.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. Trap is a very bad word. We don't use that.
Unless you're talking about Atlanta rap, and then you call it trap.
Or you're talking about like a thing that gets
it's
sprung
a trap.
on you in a D&D campaign.
Or you activate your trap card.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, no, but what's transcoding?
This card allows me to get 2. Okay. I love Pot of Greed. It's one of my favorite videos.
What is transcoding?
So transcoding is quality options. So if people are watching my stream, they can watch a lower res version of my stream, which doesn't matter. I stream at 540. You're fine.
Nice.
So affiliate doesn't get automatic, but I do get priority access on that. And then if you're the level above, which is partner, you always have access to the encodings. Otherwise, there's no difference on the VOD storage. It's 14 days on the normal VODs. I can't add a stream delay. Other than the stream delay, I can add personally from OBS. And then it gives me the option for something called reruns and premieres, which lets me play a video of past content to show off those videos to my audience.
Nice.
And that seems like it'd be good for like keep engaging with people to keep the audience like accelerate the audience building, because you can only stream so much. So if the days you're not streaming, you can have some kind of content playing.
Yeah.
Correct.
Drop more people in.
Correct.
Now,
yeah, that's always good to have like reruns and stuff, especially if big library content.
For fraud prevention stuff, any monies I get in have to hold for 60 days before I can get it paid out.
Okay. Yeah,
so there's always that.
Music licensing stuff is similar. I got to wait a couple months before I can get that.
And then on the payout fees, as an affiliate, I cover the fees on the payout. Whereas if you become partner, which takes a lot more work and time, those fees are covered by Twitch.
Nice.
But yeah, other than that, that's basically it. It just gives me a built-in way to earn revenue through Twitch. Not much, but get a couple subs here and there, that'd be great.
Have you thought of doing a crossover stream with Pink Sparkles?
I think
possibly.
I think what you should do, TJ, knowing you and Pink Sparkles, DDR, face off.
Yeah.
She likes to dance on her streams.
You do that over the internet? You could probably do that, right?
But I'm a double pad player.
Yeah.
You don't want to share a pad with Pink Sparkles? No, you can be at home with your double pad.
Okay.
And she can be, and maybe not like, maybe what she can do is just dance, because I doubt she's like good at DDR, because DDR is like a very specific non-dance skill.
Yeah.
Yes.
What TJ has, so she can do just dance, which I think what she streams, and you could do like a dance off, like she does a song, you do a song, like back and forth. I think that'd be good cross promotion.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you'll wear matching outfits.
Yes, you have to wear the same thing she does.
100%. I'm completely up for it.
God, that would be incredible. Not that I would see a lot more of TJ than I want to see, but it would be incredible to watch a cross stream of that, like ridiculousness. So,
but yeah. So other than all of that, the still quicker and easier way, if anyone has a free $1 to gift me in the meantime, is the donate link in my stream, which is actually underneath in my description. You could do that through PayPal or through direct card access, because I'm doing that through Streamlabs. On the other side of... Yep.
When you do that stream that you need to do to complete this, make sure you message me directly online, because I don't get notifications on Discord. Actually, switch it so I did, because I felt bad I didn't see your stream. I would have watched.
See, I know what I have is you
need to give more than a 2-hour notice as well. Like, you should pick a night this week that you're going to do it. And then I can make sure that I can tune in and stream, and when Matt can tune in and stream, and we can get a fan to tune in and stream. I can call my brother and make him turn it on so he watches, just because you need those numbers.
Yeah.
What?
Just throw it on a tablet.
Get Adam, to tune in. I'm sure Adam would do it.
Wake him up.
Yeah, I'll just call him and make him tune in. Like, seriously, we'll just all hang out for an hour.
We gotta finish up Kingdom Hearts anyway. I'm getting close.
Nice.
Well, at least the bad Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
But yeah, because Spanky was on, Matt was on.
Damn
we
it.
had
We had 3 at least.
Yeah,
Okay.
We had someone who messaged me on. I was mostly 5. I got up to 8 last night. It was really good because
nice.
I was under that average of 3 per the
3 per
average of
session.
3 viewers. Yeah. So I was super happy with what we got. Anyway, in terms of real life, let's talk about real life for a second.
Yes.
So I don't think I mentioned it.
Let's log off of Twitch IRL and move to IRL.
Actual IRL. Yep. So a lot of the stuff is stuff that everyone here knows already. I've actually had, let's see. So I'm going to go back to even before things happened. I know I talked in the podcast prior about having that interview at the escape room.
Yeah.
And that they ended up not choosing me. Just 100% fine.
They escaped from you.
They escaped from me.
All right.
I had...
They're worse off for it, I say.
I've had interviews recently with a place called Savers, which is like an upscale Goodwill that's a for-profit company.
Yes. There used to be one in Madison I used to go to all the time because they had cool stuff there.
I've had an interview for a front-end manager at Speedway. I've had an interview a couple weeks ago at Rivers Casino for a dealer.
Oh, yeah.
Table games dealer.
Hell yeah. Riverboat TJ.
Maverick TJ.
You make bank.
I know.
Because of tips.
Yeah.
And I have an interview scheduled for this Thursday up in Milwaukee for the same thing.
For Milwaukee
so
Riverboat
anyway,
Casino.
Rivers, I already had my audition, and they said they would love to have me in terms of culture fit, but because they're a much busier casino,
you already need to know how to be a pro.
I'm super rusty.
You're a
so
newbie.
they told me no.
No, you should have been like, no, I've watched like a ton of Modern Rogue. It's fine.
Yeah.
I know the shit.
They don't do that on Mono Rogue yet. I've suggested it. So last week Wednesday I had the interview at Speedway, and I don't remember if it was the morning after.
You're interviewing as race car driver.
Yeah.
This is what I thought as well, and that would have been awesome. TJ.
Oh, Speedway's
convenience store chain.
Convenience stores, bit cleaner, 24 hours. Day after I had that interview, I got my first offer.
Nice.
It was the offer at Savers. And tentatively, I've accepted that one.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then later that afternoon, I got a call from Speedway, and they gave me an offer.
Is it for more?
It would have been for more, but I would have been working about 7 hours more per week.
That's not worth it.
Yeah,
it's nice when you get to the place where you have offers, so you can start like putting them against each other.
Exactly. Like when I was working at my old job, or when I got my current job, like I had 3 offers, and I was just like calling up the other people, like, well, they're offering me this much. Can you guys do a little better? You know, like, and then I went with the one I went with.
So yeah, I told them no, and they said, completely understand. But if anything happens, feel free to,
of course,
keep us in the loop.
Yep.
And it was after that I got the call to make to do my interview on Thursday.
Nice.
So...
Just make sure when you do that interview, you let them know that you do have other offers, so you need to know quickly.
Yeah.
And not like, because like that's an important thing to put down, like, and don't like be high pressure about it, because that can turn people off. Just be like, just so you know, I have some other offers that I need to get back to, so the sooner I can hear back from you guys, the easier it'll be for me to make a decision, because I really like this one, and I don't want to have to discount it because I have to take another offer.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, I know that with that one, for the one on Thursday, is they can't offer me a whole lot because it's all tips.
Yeah.
But
I mean, like, whether or not they give you a job, though, you know what I mean?
Exactly. And then the other thing is, if things didn't, because the other thing is tentative, it's not 100% through until I have my first day.
Yeah.
What am I missing?
I'm going to also give you advice, TJ. I had an accepted offer that I was about to show up for the first day, and I took another offer because it was more money.
Yeah. And
you just have to make the call and say, I'm sorry, but I have to do what's right for my family. Like, I need to take more money. So
exactly.
I'm sorry. Like, I really appreciate it. I want to let you know as soon as I knew about the other one that you can find someone else. I apologize. You'll probably never get hired there again if it's the same people, but it's, you know what I mean? Like, it's business. You know what I mean? You can't, when they can fire you like that because they just don't want to, or, you know, they're doing budget cuts or something, you should have no pain having to do that. It's bad because you have to talk to someone you interviewed with and you were friendly with. I've done it before, and I hated doing it because I was just like, I really liked you guys, but these guys offered me like, you know, X% more than you, and I know you can't match it, so I'm gonna have to take the other one. I really apologize. Like, and I hope you find a good candidate. Like, you just have to do it, you know.
Exactly.
So,
yeah. So that first dealer position I've actually applied to, the one I already interviewed for. That one is doing a dealer school starting in October, and they're doing interviews for that, and I've at least registered for the interview date. But the problem is the school is unpaid 8 weeks.
What?
Are you guaranteed a job after that, or is it like...
Probably not.
For that one, I think you are.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That one you are, but, well, you know, barring you do an audition again.
Yeah. Well, and you pass the drug screen and all that stuff.
You have to do a serious song and a funny song, and then
swimsuit competition.
Actually, the panel interview was pretty interesting.
Oh yeah.
Because I had to, without talking, become my favorite food. So that was interesting.
Oh, so they did some fun stuff,
some improv exercises.
Exactly. And then the other thing is the one that I'm interviewing for on Thursday. They're doing school there, but that's paid. So we'll see. Just go from there. But that's life. That's life with me.
Well, I'm
And
glad things
now,
are moving along for you there.
Now, I didn't compare it with my previous job because people who don't know that GameStop is a previous job.
Yeah.
Right now.
Is your new offers for more money?
It's about the same, actually.
Oh, okay.
And the one at Savers, they have a position right above it. And if I do well during this busy Q3, because they top out Q3, I can apply for that next position up, and then that will be more than what I'm making it.
Keep an eye out for, like the possibilities for upward motion.
Mm-hmm,
yeah,
exactly.
That's important. But like it, yeah. Good luck, TJ. I know you'll do well, but it just kind of sucks.
I just didn't want to do retail.
Yeah,
and that's kind of retail.
I know. You know what the crazy thing is? We were talking about how retail was dying, but like across the board, retail is like surged lately. So
it's just like certain specific types of retail that are.
Because I know like
up.
Target and Walmart have like sales have gone way up, and like all these like chains that have like people are like Amazon's destroying them have started to like do fine, and it's like, oh, okay.
It's like the
because,
less
like,
specific
there's stuff I won't
your
buy on
store
Amazon.
The less specific your store is, the better you're probably doing right now.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you're just like, it's fucking, 10 a.m. I need a goddamn pack of diapers for my child. I can't order that off Amazon. I have to go somewhere. Where do I go? Target will have it. Let's go to Target.
Mm-hmm.
Walmart will have it. Let's go there. Ooh, and I can pick up dinner and all this stuff, like. Whereas, like, you can't do that on Amazon yet. The drones will be coming, though. Deliver diaper drones directly
Amazon
to your house.
Prime 1 hour deliveries. They're coming.
Oh my god, yeah. Well, Madison's already got same day pickup for stuff at the lockers. There's like Amazon lockers where you like go. It's downtown somewhere. I've never been. I kind of want to do it just to like try it, but like I also don't want to like have to park downtown and walk to a locker.
Yeah,
which will cost more than shipping probably. But
I
like
once did 2-hour delivery.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty cool. Yeah.
Oh, you should talk about. Have you thought of doing jobs like that, like the Amazon delivery stuff and all that?
I haven't, but the problem. The pro is it's Amazon.
Yeah.
And the con is it's working for Amazon.
Yeah.
I've heard those just the worst things.
I think you just don't want a job inside of the warehouse.
No, yeah. So like what I've heard is crazy, and I'm not saying this is a good job because I've also heard lots of negative stuff, but I also heard it's really easy. Is literally they have like package delivery drivers for local deliveries because like what they'll do is they'll like have like UPS stuff, and it's stuff that they don't want UPS to have to deliver.
Yeah,
they can pay you like minimum wage per hour to just go out and drop packages off, and it's way cheaper than that.
And I've had stuff like where it got delivered on like a Sunday or something.
Yeah, it's mostly like
so
off-hour
it's just
deliveries.
some random van that rolls up without a logo, and it's just some like contracted courier.
Yeah, there's a fucking dude that showed up on like some fucking beat up old car and came in, dropped off a package of like a book on Sunday, and I was like, oh, all right, I got my book.
Cool.
Like, yeah, it's just weird. Like, what the fuck? Like,
Amazon delivery, make $18 to $25 per hour. Set your own schedule.
Yeah. But I've also heard it's like stupid, like competitive with like all the other drivers in the area.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like,
That's
don't have
like
your
how
back
Uber
and like
that kind of stuff.
yeah.
Right?
I'm just saying, in a pinch, like that's a way to make money on off hours. I even thought about like if I have to buy a new car and my car breaks down, I might do Uber, just to pay off the car payments. Just like I'm not doing anything Friday night. Like I'll just Uber for, like 4 hours and make $100, help pay the car payment for that month. You know?
I want to throw a little tiny thing before I forget it, because I think I will forget it on the other side of things. And that's why the heck am I playing a 19-year-old game?
Hey, why are you playing a 19-year-old game?
Wait, what's a 19-year-old game?
A game from 19 years ago?
You have to look a little higher. A little higher.
Oh. Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy 8.
That's not 15.
No, it's not 15, even though that's the shirt I'm wearing is Final Fantasy 15 right now.
Hey, did Final Fantasy 15 do well for Square?
I thought so.
I know that they specifically
Otherwise-
said that they needed to make like $50 billion to make it profitable. So
I think they at least made their even money. I mean,
I
heck,
think
they
it
made
sold okay, but I don't think it like blew up.
Yeah.
It's a good game, but it's not like. But
So-
then they monetize it like crazy. Like there's a
Yes, they
mobile
did.
game. There's all this like random shit. So yeah.
And the
Anyway.
mobile game, the HD version of the mobile game is coming to the systems that have the regular
Yeah.
game
Yeah,
and the Switch.
Yeah, which is fucking bullshit because it's like one of those like not Clash of Clans, but it's like this Evony or like.
No. I'm talking about Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition.
Sorry, you're talking about the like chibi version, right? Or
Yes, the chibi version graphics,
Yeah,
but the same
yeah.
exact game.
Okay, which is so weird.
Yeah,
Danica
exactly.
Patrick. Sorry, I have this on the second screen. The Packer game.
I think the
She's
back of my
she's
shirt.
dating Aaron Rodgers now. So.
Oop, there goes my phone.
Oh.
But
We're a high quality stream here. TJ is showing the back
course.
of his shirt and his phone falls over.
I'm trying to show the back of my shirt because it's the full logo. It fell like it, didn't it? Oh, there it goes. Never mind. I'm done. I'm
TJ,
done
please
trying.
stop. It's not working. So anyway, what about not Final Fantasy 15, but you said you're playing Final Fantasy 8?
Yeah, Final Fantasy 15 has.
What?
But that's like
So-
7 less.
Yeah, exactly. It's like 7 less than 15. Why am I playing this? Couple reasons. Number one, it is my favorite. I understand it's one of the worst, but it is my favorite. Our friends over at the While Away podcast,
Yes.
yeah, they have
Spanky
invited
and
me.
Ewan.
Spanky and Ewan have invited me onto one of their episodes, specifically in the
TJ,
one man's
plug the crap out of our show constantly.
Oh, I will.
We
I
need to
will.
leech off their viewers.
I'm surprised you guys haven't been on something with them yet.
They haven't asked, so I'm
Yeah,
not
we
gonna push
haven't
it.
been invited, TJ.
Yeah, some of us haven't been invited.
Oh, I just rooted my nose on them, so that's kind of how I work.
Oh.
That's how I got into this podcast. What are you talking about?
That's true. You just like persistence. You're
Yeah,
like a regular
Hey,
Elizabeth
it's got a
Warren
track
over
record
here.
of working. So
But anyway, so they have a segment on their While Away podcast called One Man's Trash,
Yes.
where they bring in someone who really, really enjoys some sort of piece of media or whatnot. Right now, they've only done one episode or one segment of that with a semi-famous YouTuber, Demon Tomato Dave, with his obsession with the Popeye movie. So that was on the first episode of While Away, if I remember correctly. I will be doing it for Final Fantasy VIII. Both of them recently. Well, Spanky had talked about, hey, I've downloaded it, I've started playing it, and I'm doing this, and he's trying to force Ewan to do it, and he was doing that in our just 3-person group chat we have on Discord, and I'm just like, talking about this, talk about that, and that night, Ewan downloaded it, and we were trying to give him tips and whatnot while he was playing, and he was completely skipping a whole bunch of stuff, like, well, we'll discuss that in more detail as we, as you listen to that segment. We haven't recorded it yet, but he was missing the tutorials, so he wasn't actually doing things that are required to actually strengthen yourself in the game, because it does not have a standard leveling system by any means. And I know that during this whole thing, I'm going to rant about pronunciations, because Final Fantasy VIII was not voice acted, and most of the names, places, so many things in the game could be pronounced so many different ways, and there's no, even to this day, there's no standard pronunciation for any of it. But
that's probably
I really
fuel
enjoy
for
it.
Countless hours of fan arguing.
Oh,
Mhm.
There's a lot more arguing depending. John, you've played a little bit of it,
Of what?
Final Fantasy VIII.
I have not actually. It's I watched Adam play like 10 minutes of it, and I think I talked about this on podcast. Adam is like his greatest gaming hatred is that his like fourth disc of Final Fantasy VIII won't load, and so he never like played the ending because it would just get to the point and then it just wouldn't run. And I guess when you're like in high school, you're too poor to buy another copy, so he was like, I guess that's the end of the game for me. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Yeah. So.
Oh. I enjoy it, but I know that objectively it's not a very good game, and I understand that. But we all have, I don't even want to call it guilty pleasures, but we all have that one thing we love that we know is just not good.
I feel like that game was I think fans of that game really like that game.
It was, it was critically acclaimed when it first came out. But it really, just like Final Fantasy VII, did not age well.
Yeah, well, and the thing is, the Final Fantasy VII has like a big, was like the big first Japanese RPG like a lot of Americans got into, whereas Final Fantasy VIII was kind of like a sequel that like some people really liked, but like it wasn't as big, I guess. You know what I mean? It wasn't like that cultural milestone, so people don't remember it as fondly. While it still may have flaws, at least Final Fantasy VII has much more cultural memory to it. Like I don't know anything about 8 other than it has gun swords.
Yes. 2 people who use gun swords.
Yeah. And I think I beat 9. Like I played a ton of 9. I just skipped
I got to
8.
the end, but I didn't beat 9.
9 had some pretty cool like gameplay systems, I thought.
I've beat 8, 10, and 10 too. And that's it. I didn't beat Tactics. I got near the end of that one. I don't think I've beat another Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
this is why beginning of the year I tried playing through them. We were playing a little bit of Final Fantasy 1 together.
Yeah. So did they redo Final Fantasy 8 ever? Like re-res it? Because I think they did it for 7, right?
They're working on 7. They're still working on 7.
Why am I seeing PlayStation 4 graphics for Final Fantasy 9?
Because the PC port has been ported to iOS and PS4 for Final Fantasy 9.
Oh, because like the textures look incredible compared to the PlayStation 1 textures.
It's a little bit better. They've smoothed it a bit because they built the PC version from ground up.
Yeah, I guess.
But it's not. It's not.
I don't know. It looks like night and day difference to me here, TJ.
It's about PS2 level graphics now.
Like, it looks like legible, from illegible to legible. If that makes sense. Like, so anyway, but they haven't done that for 8 because nobody has the fondness they had for like 9 and 7.
I mean, and there is a Steam version of 8. They could just port that over on the PS4. That's what they did for 7. That's what they did for 9. Is they just took the PC version and ported it over. But they've not done that with 8. So I'm currently playing that on a Vita. Even though I do have the discs and can play that on my PS3, play my PS2, PS1. But now that I got the digital version, I can play that digital version with my digital save files on the PS3 Vita or my PSP. I have all 3. Why do I have a PSP?
Yeah, I don't know, TJ. I heard that the Final Fantasy 2 and 1, the PSP version is like the best one.
Yeah. Right? Those are the anniversary editions, which was based off of the Wonder Swan color version, which the Final Fantasy,
which is a thing that existed.
Yes, and the Final Fantasy 1 and 2 Dawn of Souls, the version you were playing, that's also based off the Wonder Swan color version.
Yeah, the Game Boy Advance one is the one I was playing.
Yep,
which is a good version.
Yep.
I need to get back to that, except for I won't because I'm playing Final Fantasy 11 Dragon Quest 11 now. And I haven't even gotten a chance to talk about it this week.
How are you enjoying it?
Yeah, I don't know how much time we got left on the episode because we're getting there, right, Matt?
We got a little bit.
Yeah,
not much.
I mean, I'm definitely fading, but I'm also getting over a cold, so I've got.
Everybody is in Madison. I think a cold kind of swept around.
But if you all want to talk, I will sit here quietly.
Well, I think. Well, I'm trying to check the time and see where we're at because I don't want to like drag on forever. Because our episodes are usually okay, we're good. Yeah. We're good. We got a little bit of time because I'm going to cut some of the early stuff out that wasn't actually about anything. I like to have a little, and people have listened to the podcast, they know there's a little after credits, like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
But I usually cut out the stuff where it's like, how's your thing sound? Good? Okay. Sometimes I leave it in if it's fun, but most of the time I cut it.
Football.
Yeah. So some of the me reacting to football, which has been happening in the video reaction, by the way, so the
Yes.
Packers have now caught up and are ahead of the Bears. So
Are they still?
yes, they are. They're up by 1 point.
Okay, because I hear people clapping downstairs.
Well, the Bears have 9 yards to go on 3rd down, and they're like near their end zone. So, and he just missed a pass. So, 4th and 9 and their own like 20-yard line. It's not good. So they're gonna have to punt it to the Packers, or maybe they won't. They'll try and go for it, but there's not a lot of time left for them to catch up. But they only need a field goal to win. So anyway, it's close. It's tight. You might hear some cheering. You might hear some booing in the background.
They might be a little bit back because
okay.
I think they did pause it and they've been working from there.
All right, I'll yell at them and let them know.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was about to say, if they're cheering right now, it's probably not a great time to cheer because they're about to turn over the ball on downs. Sorry, this is literally like the play of the game that will decide the game is happening right now. Because if they don't make it, the game's over basically because they're down. Nah, there might be a penalty called, but that's a no. All right, game's probably over at this point. So let me talk about Dragon Quest XI.
Yeah,
Drachway. The game. Did you know that in Japan they actually had to put Dragon Quest out on the weekend because too many kids called in sick from? That's not true at all. It's one of those weird rumors that like came over from the U.S. and Japan, where people are like they had to stop releasing those games during the week because too many people were calling sick. And it's like...
No, I have an uncle that works at Nintendo, and he said that's totally true.
That's kind of one of those weird like things that's definitely like a folk legend. But no, the truth is that like Dragon Quest is like an institution in Japan. Like it is the RPG like that everyone plays. You know what I mean? Like I don't even know if there's anything close to it in the U.S. because there's no game like that in the U.S. You know what I mean? Where you have people like Dragon Quest is one of those games where people don't play games except for Dragon Quest games because it's like their childhood and they're very similar in a lot of ways. So Dragon Quest 9, which was the Hand of the Heavenly Ghost, the Holy Ghost, the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost.
Yeah, it's
I forget
Sentinels of the Starry Skies.
Something like that. Anyway,
you play as an angel.
Yeah, you play as an angel. That's all I remember. And there's a train, angel train. At some point. Anyway.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Anyway, I played a lot of that game. I never finished it, but I really liked that one. That one was a weird one. But anyway, it was on 3DS. There has not been... Sorry, a DS. There has not been a Dragon Quest game in a long time for the US. Because that one was the last one that came out. And like you said, not even on the 3DS.
We'll say main series.
Yeah, main series. Yes, correct.
That isn't a remake.
Side games, yes. Yeah, exactly. They did a bunch of remakes on the 3DS or the DS. Sorry,
3DS. Nope, 7 and 8.
Okay, and 7 and 8 were on the 3DS. So they've been remaking them. They've been putting them on mobile. The mobile versions are actually really good. If you get a chance, they're only like $15, but they're worth it because they're like 80-hour-long RPGs that you can save at any point. And the mobile versions are actually really good. I would recommend 4 and 5 are great. I haven't played 6 yet, but anyway, 11. The last console play on your TV, like mainline Dragon Quest game, was on the PlayStation 2 for the US.
Dragon Quest 8.
Dragon Quest 8. So it has been a very long time that people have been able to play on their big screen TV a brand new Dragon Quest on the latest console. You know, full stop, great graphics, like for the time. So people have been anticipating this. There was Dragon Quest X, which never came to the U.S., and that was an online game.
It was on so many systems.
Yes, in Japan only. So
Wii U.
Yeah.
It
was like Skyrim. It was like Skyrim. They put it out on everything.
PC, PS3.
Yeah, maybe Skyrim is the game to compare it to because people like who don't play video games have played Elder Scroll games. Like my girlfriend or my wife now. I'm sorry, she was my girlfriend when we played Skyrim together, but she doesn't play a lot of video games, but she played the fuck out of Skyrim. You know what I mean? Like it's just kind of one of those things that. So Dragon Quest XI is the whatever the subtitle is. It's always alliterative.
Wait, is there a subtitle for Dragon Quest
There it
11?
is. It's like
I'll find it. You keep going.
Okay. But anyway. But like the Japanese name is even cooler than the
Echoes of an Elusive Age.
Yeah, so this is actually something that like a lot of people complain about because like the Japanese ones will have like names like the quest for the like glory or something, and then like the US ones are like Echoes of an Elusive Age or the Sentinels of the Starry Skies. They have to like weird alliterations for the US as part of the localization, and it's like I guess I don't know. There's some people like complaining on Steam. By the way, you can play this game on Steam. Dragon Quest 11 available on Steam, and also if you were in
Coming to
Japan,
Switch.
you played this a year ago because this came out last year. So like, there's people that are reviewing it like, yeah, I played through the Japanese version. From what it sounds like though, this version is actually like a better version than the Japanese version because it includes a faster movement speed option. So there's like a run button. There's some optimization and stuff. People are complaining online about pointless name changes of like the kingdoms.
That is a cool name.
Names. What was the Japanese one?
Dragon Quest 11, Looking for a Time Gone By.
Yeah, and which makes sense with what the plot is in the game because there's some time travel type stuff happening in the game. Not to spoil too much, but like there's some.
I'm gonna do the Google Translate one too.
So anyway,
sure.
You'll get to see what it is. But anyway, yeah. So they always do Echoes of an Elusive Age. I guess kind of brings up
Passing away and seeking time, according to Google Translate.
Okay. But anyway, Echoes of an Elusive Age. Actually, when you think about it, does kind of talk about time. Anyway, Dragon Quest 11 is funny because they look like they're Akira Toriyama art, who guided Dragon Ball, Akira, and stuff, and they look super cutesy. Like there's little slime guys, there's that, but the story is not cutesy typically. I will just say that Dragon Quest 11 starts off in a very typical Dragon Quest cutesy way because every Dragon Quest game starts off with you alone fighting monsters by yourself until you get to like the first town basically. And this one starts off with the most basic ass RPG hero storyline of you're the villager and now you've come of age, so you got to go up to the top of the mountain and say the prayer, and then you're officially an adult in our little town that you live in, and then oh boy, you got a little secret mark on your hand that means that you're special, and then you find out that you were like an orphan that was rescued by the people of the town. And is there's game stuff happening right now, I'm sure.
No, there's people are moving around, and they told me Green Bay won.
Yeah, it's over. But anyway, awesome. But anyway, started this podcast off in a different place than we did now. But the game really gets you because what I love about the Dragon Quest series, and I don't want to get into too much because we're running out of time, but I'll just say if you like RPGs, if you like JRPGs, if you like Dragon Quest games, this is one to buy. Like, this is excellent. I've heard people describe as, I've played every Dragon Quest game, and this is my favorite Dragon Quest game, which is a thing to say, because those games are really well reviewed. I think the reviews on like Metacritic are super high. Like, it is just really good. And I was playing, and it starts off really cutesy and that, but then you like get in the world, and there's something about the way that they build the worlds in Dragon Quest. Like, every town has a billion NPCs that always have really funny or weird things to say. Like, I was in a town, and you do the RPG thing where you just bust into someone's house and like look around and throw all their pots around and collect all their shit. And then I opened up a cabinet, and this old lady said, "Oh my, why you?" And it was panties or pantyhose were in the closet. It was this old lady. And I was like, "Oh yeah," it's just funny, but they don't care actually. But it's just kind of funny because they kind of play with those RPG tropes. You know what I mean? It's a little self nod to the history that they have. But a couple things, especially on the PC, the game is gorgeous. Like, it looks incredible, especially in like because you can put it on like 1440p on the PC. Like, it's just like cool, sumptuous graphics. It runs great. The combat system is fun and interesting and different, as every Dragon Quest has a little different like mechanic to it, and this one's got like a pep system where it's like a limit break kind of system, which is kind of fun. but you can chain them between characters, so they can like match with another character, and they have like a dual ability. It's really cool stuff. The story starts slow and gets really interesting about like an hour and a half in. So like it really isn't that much investment. And I've heard it really kicks in like 10 hours in, because it kind of breaks the story to you slowly. But the game does such a good job of telegraphing. I don't want to spoil too much, because it's really early on in the game, though. It's like literally the first thing you do is you're like, all right, I gotta go talk to the king of this kingdom because I was a chosen kid. I should go notify him. And then like you're going through the town. I'm reading books, and there's books talking about these like legendary knights that protect the kingdom. And you're reading a little book, and you kind of read blurbs about them, and like, oh, underneath the castle are these crazy dungeons where people have been locked away forever and all this stuff. And then you go to the castle and you meet these two crazy knights that they've been talking about, and they're interesting. And then let's just say there's a lot of foreshadowing that paid off in a way that was really interesting. And I was like, man, they really built. And I didn't have to go see those things. So I just walked around, wandered around, read books on bookshelves, and you just talk to everyone, explore everything in these games. It's really worthwhile because there's all these just little things. Like there's just a little character making pancakes, and you go like, and this guy's like making pancakes for my grandma, and she's sitting at the table, and you're like, oh, there she is. There's just this little NPC thing happening. It's just like a really happy little world. Like people, I think what people describe Dragon Quest as is like playable, like bedtime fantasy stories. Like, play this for a good hour, and I'm like, that was a fun little experience, because it's like, you know, fantasy and fun. So yeah.
And then 25 hours in, and this, I'm not playing the game yet, but
yeah,
25 hours in, Demon King comes, the whole world gets destroyed.
Oh,
Everything is absolute despair.
Oh yeah, like 10 hours in, you're like, they've murdered my children. Like I must.
They're torturing my dog.
Yeah, I know. It's just like it gets to a point where it gets really real, and it really does happen. Where
and not even in a semi-serious way. It's really dark.
Yeah, and it's like there's these cutesy graphics, but like they murdered your mother, and you're like, what? Like, oh my god! And it gets real. It's just, they're really good, and this is a really good one, and I'm happy I bought it. And I'm kind of mad because I had a Best Buy gift certificate that was in the mail, and I was gonna wait, and then I was like, fuck it, and I just downloaded it because it was like Wednesday night, and I was like, I need to play this right now, and so whatever, I'll buy it somewhere else.
It sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Before we play ourselves off, I'm just going to attempt to read in Japanese the Japanese name of this game.
Thank you. Yes, TJ.
I have to figure out. I'm not going to figure out how to say 11, so I'll just say 11.
Okay.
But it's Dragon Quest 11 Sugisarishi Toki Omotomete.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Matt.
So if you go to the website bornintheeighties.net, you can find all the episodes, and some episodes will have links to stuff that we talked about or whatever. A lot of them don't. But you can listen to the episodes there every week. You can go to patreon.com bornintheeighties if you want to be a patron. We love our patrons that we have.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to go on the Discord, if you go on the Born in the 80s website, on the left-hand side, there'll be a little thing that says Discord link. Click the link, join our Discord.
I'm still looking at the title for 2 episodes ago, 321. Meters, tails per second.
Oh, yes. That was one. That was when Matt wasn't on. So it was a good episode. Anyway, so... Kidding. Wasn't the same. I had to do all the tech shit. It was terrible. But anyway, that's all me, John_Danger on Twitter.com, which is the worst website in the world. So go on there. That's it.
And you can find me at Matt Haig Music everywhere on the internet. Just follow me on whatever. Follow me home, wait in my cupboards, and then listen to my music.
And you can help me attain my Twitch affiliate status by following me on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/mayofmay. Follow me on Twitter. That's at @mayofmay84. And more importantly, I set up an account, and I've not done anything yet, on Mastodon, which is like Twitter but not sucks. So I'm mayofmay.
That sounds too complicated.
It is. I'm at mayofmay at mastodon.cloud.
Okay.
Whatever that means.
And you can also follow me on LO.
My MySpace page is available.
My secret Tinder account is.
There is a Born in the 80s Twitter.
I thought you were going to
Yeah.
say there's a Born in the 80s Tinder account.
Oh man, we can get some dates, get some hot dates.
Yeah.
All three of us will go.
Listen, we'll just do a live. We'll show up and do a live podcast. All right, I think we've fallen sufficiently off the
Yep.
rails.
I'm falling asleep because the Packers have won.
All right.
Bye bye, everybody.
Bye.
Okay, we sound pretty good.
All right, I think we sound amazing.
I think we sound good, and so let's. My life is over. Why?
You have a lot of money riding on this.
Why?
season.
No, just why did this have to happen the first week? Like, I was all like, okay,